Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Manigan's Movie Music. Happy Friday to you guys. Yes, another Friday, another show of Manigan's Movie Music. And again, the sun is out and it's shining for us again. This is probably the fourth week now that sunshine every Friday has come upon us. It's amazing. It just shows that you have to tune in every morning, nice cup of tea, nice coffee, sit down and listen to Manigan's Movie Music on Friday mornings. If, of course, you're not at work. If you are at work, then I'm so sorry to hear that. Anyway, so today on the show, I've got another special guest with me today. I will introduce him very soon. But as you know, I've also got a movie review coming up later on today as well. I'm going to be talking about the new Fear Street film, Prom Night, which I'm quite intrigued to talk about because, again, like with last week's movie, Hurry Up Tomorrow, there's been another mixed reception, although not as mad as Hurry Up Tomorrow, but you know, I will talk about that as the show goes on. But anyway, as you know, it's time for the first track of the day. So this one's a little bit different. This one, I haven't played one yet. This is from the Bourne Ultimatum franchise. And this one is from, of course, the legend himself, John Powell. This one is called Man vs. Man. That was John Powell's The Bourne Ultimatum, Man vs. Man, to start off on, of course, Manigan's Movie Music on your Friday morning. And that's, of course, you're listening with me, Reese Manigan. I hope you guys have had a good week. I have had a pretty productive week myself. As always, been very busy preparing for my filmmaking and my premiere for October, and plus also talking to a lot of exciting guests who are coming on my show in the next few weeks, which I can't wait to talk more about. But speaking of guests, I do have one here today. The guest I have today is a singer who's here to talk about his work and obviously talk about himself, promoting and everything. And I've actually listened to his tracks. He's a very good singer, if you don't mind me saying. So wonderfully talented, and I'm very happy that he's come on the show. In fact, he came quite last minute, actually, and I'm very happy that he's here. Please welcome Emmanuel.
Hey. What's up, mate? What's up? I'm really well. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm very happy to have you on the show today. And
it's a pleasure to be on the show.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you're here. And like I said, it quite last minute as well, because just barely a week's notice and you arrived, so I'm really happy about that. Yeah, because I was supposed to have a previous guest, but unfortunately I couldn't make it. So I was like, I don't want to break the chain of not having any guests in the upcoming weeks. But luckily, you put your hand up, you arrived on time, so there you go.
Yeah, sweet. I'm happy to be here, man.
No, I appreciate it. So, okay, so tell us about who you are and why you're here on the show today.
So I'm a singer-songwriter from London, and I'm literally on the show today to promote myself and, you know, just speak to the people and just tell the people a little bit more about my musical journey, when I started and where I am currently. You know, I thought it's very important to do things like this because it's imperative to, you know, your musical career. You know, the sort of like people you build with, the people you network with, and you know, when we connected, it felt real, and just like, why not come down and talk a little bit about who I am and whatnot, you know, if the opportunity presents itself, you know.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, why not indeed? You got to grab every opportunity you can. And I myself, I'm a massive opportunist, and I will grab every opportunity I can 100%, whether it's the radio or the filming, whatever. But yeah, I completely understand. So how long have you been a singer, or what made you want to become a singer in the first place?
When I was a little child, I used to watch Moonwalker a lot by Michael Jackson. So I was heavily inspired by him. My mum had the tape. She bought me the tape, the VHS tape. I used to watch it over and over and over again until the tape got destroyed.
I bet you were really upset about that.
I was. I was like, Mum, like, why is it not working? She's like, it's the tape's all done up and everything. Like, we can't watch it anymore.
Oh, VHS. How
and
awesome.
Then when he released You Are Not Alone, I started singing along to that song. And then that's when I realized I could sing. And then I performed it at a talent show when I was around 7 or something.
Nice.
And then that's when I knew, I could sing. But I didn't start pursuing music until 2005.
Oh, so same as me then, 2005, because it's my 20th anniversary of filmmaking this year.
Wow.
So that's really strange that you just said that. My God, 2005, the year where we all decided to make our careers happen.
Yeah, you know.
Wow, that is really strange. I mean, coincidence, but strange.
And even like when I started in 2005, I got approached. So I got approached by a rapper and an engineer, and they said they needed a singer, and I used to sing in school. So they knew of me, and they said, we need to sing on some songs. Do you mind coming down to the studio? And then literally started working with them. The songs never got released, but they got pitched to labels and stuff.
Yeah.
And then moving on from there, around 2007, 2008, I started working with someone else. Started working with them. They were a rapper at the time, and we started working together in the studio.
Nice.
And then doing shows, open mic shows, and just trying to be about and really get ourselves out there. Those songs were unreleased, and then after like working with him, I moved on to sort of like do my solo thing. And then moving forward to 2014, I dropped my first mixtape.
Ah, nice.
Called Just Getting Started, and that had a bunch of features on it from my boy Searcher. Shouts to Searcher. Be on the lookout for him. He's a really dope rapper from the UK. He actually has a mixtape out called Decade and Change, which I'm featured on. So you should go check that out. You know, it was a really good project that I did. So be on the lookout for that. It is out, so you can check it out.
And where can people check out all your work?
I have a single on Spotify called Only Gets Better.
So that's what I was listening to. It's really good.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
I really liked it.
Yeah, that song's available to check out on stream on Spotify, Amazon, Deezer. The mixtape can be checked out on topmixtapes.com. And then Emmanuel Adenuga TV is my YouTube channel. Nice. That's where people can literally lock in for like upcoming releases and music and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so definitely be on the lookout for that, guys. 100%. Do you have any plans for any more songs or singles or any events coming up that people that might want to see you perform, like live or, you know?
I'm booked to perform on the 6th of June 2025. The details will be posted real soon, so lock into my Instagram, Emmanuel Adenuga. That's EMMANUEL ADENUGA, for more details on that show. What else have I got? I've got a bunch of songs in the can. It's just really about like planning the releases and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I really want to execute things properly and do it like the right way, you know, as opposed to just trying to rush because.
Oh yeah, no, you can't rush art. I mean, it's like with me. I like at the moment I'm making my next feature, and I've also got some short films that I'm really planning to stick out there for festivals and everything. So I can understand 100%, even though it's different from song making, it's still art. So I understand the feeling of not rushing that art to make sure it's perfect enough to get it out there until it's ready.
Right.
So no, I 100% understand the feeling. But the question is like, how long would it take you? So let's say you've got a song in your mind right now. So, all right, got a song. How long does it normally take you from the start of that planning to the song to release it? How long is that process?
It's so relative. It really depends on like where the artist is in their career, because you know, even if you're on a major label, it still will take time because you have to like record the song, and then A&Rs may need to hear it. You go through this process of like listening back and shuffling between what song you want to release first and all of that. But if you really have a really good like song that's just ready and good to go, you can just sort of relatively put it out quickly, especially as an independent artist with platforms like SoundCloud. You could just put it out straight away, and then even get a graphic designer to like just design your the front cover, and then boom, you could just literally do it like straight away. But it's like I would advise artists to like still take your time and make sure it's the right song that you want to put out first. And then even if it was like a week after recording, just make sure like it sounds good and everything is like on point, and then sort of drop it. So it can happen relatively quickly.
Yeah, of course. Where, like, for example, because this is a movie themed radio show, by the way, would there ever, if there was a movie at the moment and they said to you, we want you to make a song for this particular film, because most movies now have a particular theme song or a song to add onto the film, what would be like a dream film if that was to come up to you to say, oh, that would be the perfect song choice to use for that film?
Oh man, there's so many great films, and there's so many great films pending as well, and films that are out. Like, so recently, obviously, Mission Impossible Tom Cruise came out, the newest installment. I would love to like do something for a project like that.
Yeah.
Or even like Fast and Furious. I feel like a song that I did called
so basic action films then.
Yeah. I feel like there's a song I have with my boy Searcher called Turn It Up, which is a remix to Jay-Z and Rick Ross F With Me, You Know I Got It. And I think it's a really dope like club banger. It has the potential to be like a really big like club banger. Like it just bangs.
Sorry, I just love that. It's top banger. It just bangs. I love it.
Not to toot my not to toot my own horn, but
no.
What it is like even because that was featured on my mixtape.
Yeah.
So like people who have listened to my mixtape, like core like fans, core like people that support me, they're like, this mixtape is hard, bro. Like it's like the mere fact that certain people haven't heard it yet is just mad. But and it's been out for like years. But like anybody that would listen to it would probably feel like it's a new body of work. Yeah.
Basically, it feels like it's from this generation, not the other generation. So basically, you say it was ahead of its time then.
In a sense, it was. But but I was recording so much and just working so hard that when it came out, it felt like it was like a breath of fresh air. And it was a full body of work.
Yeah.
Even though it's like a bunch of remixes aside from like with the exception of one original song, it just felt like, this is like the right project for me to release at this point.
Yeah.
So moving forward, it was like all the sort of projects that I have in the works or that I plan to release. I'm due to do it like really professionally and sort of because we're just getting started. We just put it out.
Yeah.
But I did a launch and everything, and even the launch was really like elaborate. But I sort of teamed up with another platform that was launching on the night of the mixtape release of the launch, and because I felt like it was a good sort of collaboration where they were sort of a platform that already has a fan base. Me jumping on it was like a good sort of merger, as opposed to just doing it alone. So I'm all for that. Like, never hesitate to team up with people or connect with people that can sort of do things a bit that have a better expertise in something.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So yeah. That's
great bunch of information.
But to answer your question, as far as because the song called "Turn It Up," that song I feel like could be featured in a franchise like Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
So definitely I would love to do songs for film. And even act as well, because I feel I have the potential to be an actor, but I want to get get into the training and everything.
Yeah, well, you're lucky. You're speaking to an independent filmmaker who does show material, so there you go. We'll talk about more of that off the air, but you've actually come to the right place.
Right.
I was actually going to ask you, because you've just said that, and you just reminded me again of this film that I was talking about last week. Did you ever get to watch that film, Hurry Up Tomorrow?
No.
Because that's about the singer Weekend, but I can't remember his full name. He's the Weekend singer, but he's his first debut of acting, and he's with Jenna Ortega and Barry Keoghan, and it just come out, and people are kind of slating it at the moment. I was talking about it. The thing is, I was saying about it last week, and the thing is, I even put it on Instagram and defended it because. Yeah, it's not a masterpiece. It's not supposed to be. But at the same time, I understand what it is they were trying to do. So when you were saying about, I want to do the acting field, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, that's just come back into my head about the movie Hurry Up Tomorrow, because that was his first debut of acting. I will get his name up when I remember, but at the minute, I just can't remember his name. But he is basically on a true story where his throat and his voice got lost on stage. And that's why they inspired the story. But the story of the film goes into a very bizarre direction. And the thing is, I thought the film was very unique, the way it was looked and the way it was executed and everything. And I can understand why people didn't like it. I'm not saying like I said, it's not a masterpiece. But trust me, as a person who's watched films all their life, I have seen a lot worse than Hurry Up Tomorrow, believe me. I could give you a list. And I was just like, look, I can understand, but at the same time, I don't understand. It's like people... But the reason critics weren't a fan of it was because they thought it was just a big promotional label for the singer to get his new album out. He's in the movie, so this is what I'm doing. But to be honest, I didn't see it that way. I saw it as a movie about a singer who was going through some very traumatic experiences.
Exactly.
And basically they were looking through that. But I thought maybe you might have seen it because when you mentioned, I was thinking, oh, what do you might have seen it? But since you haven't, it's fine. But we'll,
I'll check it out.
Definitely check it out. I mean, and let me know your thoughts on it because, as you said about that, I thought that's cool. Wow, it's quite interesting. So it just kind of paralleled in my brain just then.
Because even with, not to cut you off, right?
Yeah,
even with Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Yeah.
When I watched the review some years back, the person who reviewed it said like a lot of people didn't really get it because it was really centered around the Smooth Criminal short film.
Yeah.
But it was so like elaborate as far as like, because he took that sort of elements from Smooth Criminal and then created a film around it.
Yeah.
And I still, as watching it, I still see that there's a narrative and there's a story within that short sort of Smooth Criminal short.
Exactly.
It was really elaborate and imaginative and really thought out. I think.
And that's what I was saying about Hurry Up Tomorrow as well. As you said about the plot, because they're people saying there's no plot, but there kind of is. But it's a POV of a singer's point of view going through traumatic experiences.
Exactly.
But they don't see it that way. But I mean, I'm not saying look, each to their own, right? Honestly, if they don't like it, they don't like it. But I was properly defending that film when I saw it, and even my missus watched it, and she said the same. She said I didn't see there was a massive problem with it. She goes, to be honest, I thought it was better than what the critics were saying, but she said it's the same. It's not a masterpiece. I said, no, but it's not supposed to be. But then you execute art in your own way. I mean, my movies particularly, there's no masterpiece there, and I have different points of view of how I execute things. But then again, it's the same. And I was saying it as well, like, because, if you look at 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is a Kubrick film, and, I'm a massive Kubrick fan. I mean, when that came out, everybody hated that movie because, no one got it. But you're not supposed to. And now it's a cult classic.
You see? And the thing with like film, sometimes like you may not get it the first time, but if you watch it again and again and again, you may start to like resonate with it. And
I reckon Hurry Up Tomorrow is definitely on the verge of being a cult classic. Absolutely. I can see it. Because, people are slaying it now. But I reckon give it 10, 15 years, people will go, actually, do you know that? And they'll kind of understand why, because something's going to happen in about 10, 15 years time, as something always does. They'll go, do you know what, that movie actually relates to that, and I'll be like, there you go.
And that's the timelessness of film. Film is so it's such an ecstatic industry, and just how sort of broad it is, like the timelessness, like you can watch something from way back in the days and it's like you revive it.
Exactly.
So
I mean, there's another one as well, Unbreakable from M. Night Shyamalan. That was a superhero movie. Do you know when he pitched that, people were going, no one's going to want to watch a superhero movie. Why would anyone watch that? And now look at Marvel and DC.
You see?
And now, you know what I mean? And then people were going back to Unbreakable going, oh yeah, that was the early superhero film and all this. I was like, yeah, because it was ahead of its time. But when M. Night Shyamalan was pitching it, apparently producers were like, who on earth is going to want to watch this? And now look at it. So there you go.
Yeah. You see?
So there you go. So don't underestimate the early expenses of film.
No, don't.
But anyway, okay. So Emmanuel, so now we've spoken about what you do and everything. We're now going to jump right into the show and obviously talk about film and stuff that's happening right now with film and everything like that. So obviously, you must be a bit of a film lover yourself to know quite a bit about the film.
Yeah, I feel like I'm, apart from being a singer, I'm talented in different ways, and as I mentioned, acting is definitely something I want to venture into, and even my upcoming music visuals will showcase some form of acting.
Yeah,
because to me that's what they really are. They're short stories or short films in a sense where you sort of tell a story.
Exactly.
And you obviously have to act with a lead lady or whoever, like characters and whatnot. So,
well, we will definitely talk about that definitely off the air, because now you've mentioned it, I've definitely got some stuff I'd like to talk to you about. But now we're going to take a little break. We're going to play some tracks so we can breathe and chat and everything.
Right.
But I hope you guys are tuned in and you're enjoying this. If you've got a shout out for Emmanuel or any shout outs you want to give to me, any questions or anything like that, you know the drill, guys. Give us a message. There's a live chat on the Love the Beat website if you want to go for it. Or if not, feel free to just message us how you can. Anyway, we're going to jump into the next track now, guys. So here's a little bit of dinosaur taste of Jurassic World Dominion. This one's called Alan for Granted. That was a track from, of course, Kubrick's very underrated movie, Barry Lyndon. I think the description of that one's just it's called the Piano Trio in E flat second movement, because Kubrick was very known for using classical music in his movies, of course. Anyway, you're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio with me, of course, Reese Manigan, and my special guest today, Emmanuel.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, there he is. I don't think any one of my guests has gone whoop, whoop, whoop before.
Emmanuel. A shameless plug of my tag.
Okay, right. So I'm going to jump straight into the movie review next now, guys. I'm going to be talking about the next Fear Street film. But before I do, Emmanuel, did you happen to bump into the Fear Street trilogy on Netflix during COVID?
Funny enough, I didn't. But I was sort of locked away in my room, just like watching different DVDs that I had at the time.
I think we all were. I think we all were, mate. Yeah. What did you do in 2020? Just sat at home and watched TV.
You know what? Like, it was just crazy. Like, when we went into the lockdown, it was just crazy.
I know.
So, like, I wanted to go studio, but I couldn't, because the studio that I was going to at the time was like just shut down.
Oh yeah.
And then I sort of just took a bit of a break from music, and this is like my quote unquote comeback year, if you will. And it's literally because of going into the lockdown. So when we went into the lockdown, I started diving more into like personal development.
Yeah.
And started reading more.
Nice. And
then I started doing things like meditation.
Yeah.
Really started to clear my head, because because we were obviously in lockdown. So
yeah.
That industry just presented itself to me. And I started going to like watching like webinars of like people like Tony Robbins and stuff like that. And just going into like quiet spaces like parks and stuff, and just really trying to ground. And that's really what I've been doing for like the last 4 years. Aside from like music, I started really just getting back into songwriting.
Yeah, of course.
Like earlier this year and the year before. But yeah, since lockdown, I've just literally been like locked into like personal development and just a little bit of songwriting here and there.
Fair enough. Well, there you go. And same with me. With lockdown, all I did was stop motion animation, not live action filming. So I went back into my animation roots back then. But okay, so what I was basically saying was, during COVID, there was a trilogy of films called Fear Street that were released on Netflix. It's a trilogy of horror films, but they're based on books. But what made these films amazing was there were 3 films, but they got released one each month. So I think one was September, one was October, and one was November. But they were brilliant movies. The third one in particular was really good. So what happened is, because of the success of Fear Street, they've released another one, a fourth one, which is sort of linked with the 3, but also its own story. In a way, you don't really have to watch the other 3 to watch this one, but it's fine. Anyway, but Fear Street was a very successful trilogy of horror films. But they made a new one called Fear Street Prom Night. And this was a one-off, I think, of an hour and a half of a very fun, very Carrie-style inspired prom night movie slasher whodunit film. And it came out just recently. I think it came out just last week. And I was really looking forward to it. I thought, this is going to be great, another Fear Street movie, to see what it's like. But does it compare with the other 3? Honestly, absolutely not. It's its own film. But again, it's getting slated for being, this is, boring, it was rubbish. But to be honest, it wasn't. It was very, very quick. I mean, for an hour and a half film, it felt like it was only an hour long. It was very, very fast paced. And to be honest, I thought it was fun. It's no masterpiece. It's not meant to be as good as the first 3. Absolutely not. The first 3 definitely had a bigger budget, more actors, more story, more props, better Hollywood-style actors who were in big films and everything. This one was definitely an indie one. But to be honest, I thought it was quite fun. Although I will say this, there was probably only one likeable character out of all the characters in the entire film, who was actually called Megan, who, ironically enough, is actually one of the names of my best friend. So that was funny. So I was like, this is funny that the only character I like is the same name as my best mate. But she was actually the best character in the film. Like, she actually was smart and likeable, and you relate to her. And the other characters were just absolutely typical bland American, oh my God, I'm so pretty, high school girls. And then you got the handsome, good-looking guys, hey, Jodie, you want to dance? Oh my God, I love when he tells me to dance. You know, it's so cliche. But the thing is, I don't sometimes mind it because if you know what movie you're going to go into, you just go along with it. And you're just like, oh, it's so cliche. I love it. But then to be fair, it was set in the 80s. And so back in then, the 80s was so typical, you know, how it was back then. And you just look and you're like, oh, goodness. You know, anyway. But as a film, it was very fun. And I will admit, the twist of the reveal of who the killer was quite shocking. I actually didn't expect who the killer was in the film. I'm not going to spoil it, by the way, who it was. I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that person to be the killer. I was actually quite shocked. I'm not going to lie. So I thought, good one. And then had a very predictable ending after that. And then how it ends, it was like, boom. And it was like, oh, okay. And then you get this post-end credit sequence, which doesn't lead to anywhere because you think, oh, is it going to be an opening to a sequel? Not really. You're just looking at something and you're like, okay, that's the ending. You know what I mean? There's no Marvel style end credits. Oh my God, opening to a no. You're just looking, going, well, there's your post-end credit sequence, guys. There you go. Just a bit of footage. That's it. You know. But guys, I mean, I will say this: if you're looking for a horror film and something fun, something cliched, if you're a fan of Carrie, especially, and you're a fan of Scream, I'd say, yeah, go ahead and watch it because it's a Friday night, Saturday night kind of film that you'd watch with your girlfriend, boyfriend, or mates you have over. You have a bit of popcorn, or you're just, you know, eating marshmallows, or even you're smoking a bit of spliff if you want, you know, and having a, you know, whatever it is you do on your Saturday nights. I don't judge. You know, you watch the film, you're just like, yeah, this is pretty cool, you know, and you're just going along with it. So that's the kind of movie I'd say it was. It's, like I said, it's not a masterpiece, but go for it. If you want something really silly and fun to watch, there's your movie. There you go. Fear Street Prom Night. Out of 10, give it a 6.9. You know, I mean, it definitely don't have an impact as much as it did on Hurry Up Tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie. That movie, I'm really going to strongly defend. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, give it a go. And also don't compare it to the other three Fear Streets because the other Fear Street films were its own thing. They had a really good, strong link to each one, and it was really good. And, you know, they had their own thing. This one, it's just a Netflix TV film that you put on. It's nothing huge, nothing special. And, you know, there's going to be characters in it that you hope get killed off, you know, because you don't like them. And I'm not going to lie, some of your wishes will come true. So there you go. But anyway, Emmanuel, are you a massive horror fan yourself?
Funny enough, I am.
You are? Yeah. Good. Then me and you are going to get on very well. Because that's my genre. Any particular favourites?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm.
Growing up as a kid, man.
Please tell me the original, though, right? Not the two.
Yeah. The originals.
Yeah, good.
And Evil Dead.
Ooh, what, the original Evil Dead?
Yeah. My nan, God rest her soul.
Oh, wow.
She had Evil Dead on VHS tape.
You and your VHSs, man.
watching that, was just like watching something that was just so crazy. Because the zombies and everything, they were just so like screaming and everything. And then the way they were all trying to get out of the house and everything. And they couldn't escape. Like, I just think, damn. And then the fact that the way it ended, I didn't get to see part 2 or even part 3 or any of the sequels. Until
You've never seen Evil Dead 2 yet?
I have.
Oh, you have?
Because I bought the collection in 2016 or 17.
Nice.
And that's the first time I got to watch the sequels.
Oh, brilliant.
But even the way it ends, the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was an Evil Dead 2 because I was young, innit?
Yeah.
And then I found out after doing that research on like Wikipedia and that, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna grab the DVDs.
I mean, do you know what? I love Evil Dead 2. I love it more than Evil Dead 1.
Is it?
Oh yeah, because it's just bonkers.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know when I first watched it with my missus? We didn't watch it not that long ago ourselves. Because we just kind of go through some horror films and go, let's check this one.
By one.
And so we jumped onto Evil Dead 2, and oh my god, the scene with the deer head and all the demons are laughing. Do you know how hard I was laughing at that scene? I was dying, and I literally had tears pouring out my eyes.
Right.
And my missus is just watching the film, looking at me, and she's going, "What are we watching?" I said, "I don't know, but I love it."
Now, I remember one of my mates, like, when I sent him a clip of the first one, where one of the zombies got stabbed. And she was screaming, like, he was like, "Bro, what is this? This is so stupid." It was jokes, bro. Like, oh man.
But then it's meant to be, because now when you look back on the interviews with Sam, is it Sam Raimi who directed it? He said they were meant to be stupid. They are meant to be bonkers. That's the idea. And they're meant to be funny. They are dark comedies.
But the first one didn't seem funny to me. Like, it was just like really serious. Like the fact that they couldn't get out of the house, the tape, and then it was just like, what the fuck is? Like,
That's very much so. Yeah, sorry.
My apologies. Excuse my French.
Yeah. No, right, we'll cut that out in the podcast.
What is this? Like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
It is crazy, yeah. And but have you seen the recent ones, the 2013 one?
Yeah.
And the 2016, not 2016, 2022 for free. No, 23. Evil Dead Rise again. Is Evil Dead Rise again?
Yeah, I believe I saw that as well.
So there's Evil Dead Rise. No, so Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise, yes. So Evil Dead 2013 was with the actress who was in Don't Breathe. That one I enjoyed.
Right.
In fact, I got the director's cut of that one as well. Got the director's cut. That's a really good one. And I also have Evil Dead Rise, which I actually really enjoyed. That surprised me because I didn't know how far they were going to go with that one, and it was really good.
Now, I remember the one of the newest ones. I liked it because it was just modern. It looked real.
Yeah.
But it's a remake of the original of the first one, and I thought, damn, this one's kind of crazy.
You'll be happy to know there is one coming out again next year.
Really?
It's called Evil. So we got Evil Dead Rise. Let me just quickly find out what. Oh no, it's Evil Dead Burns.
Ooh.
Evil Dead Burns.
That sounds.
And it's a different director. Sam Raimi's though coming because he produces all of them. Even though he directed the first three, he came and produced the 2013 one, 2023, and now he's producing this one.
Right.
So he's literally going through each one. He's like, but you know what I love about Sam Raimi as well? He is a very good producer because he thinks about his audience. I mean, he directed the Spider-Man trilogy as well.
Really?
And he is a very, very down-to-earth producer. He likes to think about his audience. He's not an ego. He's not a horrible person. He's a very, very well-mannered producer. And everybody who's worked with him has said he's one of the kindest directors anyone's ever worked with. And speaking of horror directors, another one comes to mind. John Carpenter, who did Halloween, he is also a very down-to-earth director. Like you wouldn't think it because of all the films he's done.
Yeah.
Apparently, he hates ego people. Like, do you know, he said in an interview, I had friends in college who want to become film directors and stuff like that. He grew up with them, and apparently they turned really egotistic and all that.
For what purpose?
Well, basically, you know, oh, we're better than everybody sort of thing, and oh, I've done it. So he said, I don't make friends with those people anymore because once they turned into that, I walked away. Because he says, I cannot have that in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
It's toxic. He said, if you're down to earth and you're genuine, then the door's open. But if you have that personality of, I think I'm better than everybody else, he goes, there's the door.
Yeah, be careful who you hang around, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Energy's transferable, so.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I hate, like, honestly, the past couple of years, I've had some stories, but I've met some toxic people in the past couple of years. And believe me, once I've had that experience with them, I'm like, get out of my life.
That's it,
I can't have it anymore. But this year I've been very lucky because I've met some very genuine down-to-earth people this year, and it's been very lucky. And I've managed to avoid a lot of toxicity this year. So that's why I'm very at peace so far.
Yeah, you seem like it. You seem like it.
Yeah, believe me. Believe me. It's been like too much of it, get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so there you go. All right. Okay, brilliant. Well, that's good to know that there's some horror films that you like as well. And I was also going to say, like, is there any recent horror films that you have seen that have kind of got... I mean, because last year, we had some really good ones. If you think about it, we had Smile 2, we had The Substance, we had Strange Darling, there was Beetlejuice, we had Lady Frankenstein, which was another one. We had a lot last year that came out, which would just hit after hit after hit after hit. Was there any ones that has come out recently or ones that stand by you now that go, that is the greatest modern horror I've seen?
maybe last year or like because I haven't been to the cinemas in a while.
I go all the time.
Well,
It's my church, literally.
What did I watch? I watched 2 horror films like in the last 2 to 3 years. But what were they called though? I can't remember the names of what they were called. But I saw the flyer for the new. No, I saw the trailer for the new Final Destination that's out or coming out. I'm thinking to go watch that Final Destination Bloodlines.
The last movie as well to star the legend himself, Tony Todd. It's his last film, and he ad-libs his last message in the film.
I think the last horror film I watched was called The Conjuring, but it's like
The Conjuring, yes.
It's like all to do like exorcism.
Yeah,
all that
so
stuff.
there's Conjuring, there's Conjuring 2, there's Conjuring The Devil Made Me Do It, and then there's a 4th one coming out this September.
So the one that came out like maybe 2 years ago.
So The Devil Made Me Do It. That's the 3rd one.
Yeah, that one. And then this girl needed some next exorcism. Like
yes, that's the yeah. Those are good films. I mean, the 3rd one wasn't as good as the first 2, but the 4th one's come in, and I think it'll be an improvement.
Yeah.
Because also, it's the conclusion, and secondly, looking at the trailer, all the monsters in that franchise, they look like they're going to return in the 4th one. So we've got the Nun, we've got Annabelle, the Crooked Man. I think they're
the Crooked One.
Yeah, from the 2nd one, there's a guy called the Crooked Man. They was going to make a movie about it, but they cancelled it. And
that would have been a spin-off.
Yeah, so because they do spin-offs as well. It's like the Conjuring universe. Because now since Marvel, everyone's got a universe.
Yeah.
But apparently in the 4th one, they've teased that Annabelle and all the monsters from those universes, they're going to come back in the 4th one, and apparently they're going to get some vengeance on the couple, the Warrens, because the Warrens they are true people. I mean, Louise Warren sadly passed away just a couple of years ago. Her husband, I think, is still around, but they are true people, and they're played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, who, honestly, them two have made those movies incredible, and their chemistry is incredible. Like they're both incredible lead actors, and though they carry those films, I mean, I'm not a huge Conjuring fan. I do love those films, but they're not movies that I'd watch again and again and again and again. They're just films that I put on now and again.
Yeah.
But the only reason they are good, in my opinion, is because of those two. It's like with just recently Speak No Evil with James. That was another one that came out last year. Speak No Evil, James McAvoy. I mean, that movie is amazing, but James McAvoy makes that movie, and he is the reason you watch that movie because he is so fantastic in it that you can't not watch him. But at the same time, you'll go, yeah, I love James McAvoy, but the film is all right. But you'd go, yeah, but James McAvoy.
Yeah, because those type of actors, when you watch them, it's like it becomes like it's not a film anymore. It's like it's real life. Like they really know how to sell, get like their characters. It's like
I mean, James is just. I mean, the movie Split as well. I mean, he was phenomenal in that. How he did not win an award, I have no idea. But how phenomenal he was in that movie. And in Speak No Evil, he's kind of like the sort of, again, another sort of nutter who, I mean, people have said actually he's like the Jack Nicholson of this era, because if you watch The Shining, what Jack Nicholson did in that movie, they were basically saying that James is the Jack Nicholson of today. And to be honest, I would agree because he can play crazy. He's just brilliant. And, I did just recently just watch that film again, Speedo. I just felt like putting it on again. And again, I was watching it. I was just like, James is just gold. He's just a gold guy. And he is one of my dream actors to work with. If I had a list and I was like, yeah, James is on the list high. He's right up there. How could you not want to work with James McAvoy? I mean, he's just a genius. And But that's great to know that, I've got another horror fan on the show here today. Yeah. I mean, I love it. When they say, I'm like, perfect. I mean, I could go on about these horror films all the time.
Because some people don't like horror like this.
There are some who I've had on the show.
They're too scared to watch horror films.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but then saying that, my missus makes me laugh because she loves horror, but she's scared of certain things. And then she'll want to choose the horror film to watch. I'll scare her. And I go, but you're scared of this? She goes, yeah, I know, but I want to watch it again. You didn't sleep last time when you put it on. So why are you going to sleep? Are you going to sleep tonight? No. You know what I mean? But speaking of the horror films that are coming out this year, I mean, speaking of Hurry Up Tomorrow, that's kind of a horror film. But I'm really looking forward to, the new Conjuring I'm really looking forward to. There's another film that's coming out very soon, which I believe is going to be this year's Substance, which is called Together, which stars Dave Franco and his wife Alison Bry. And I can't even explain what even that movie's about, but judging by the trailer and judging by the reception already in festivals, we're going to be in for a ride. We are going to be in for a ride.
That's what you should be in for.
But you just look, but honestly, like I remember seeing the trailer and I was like, this is going to be this year's Substance, because the Substance had a massive reaction last year, which I'm glad it did. But looking at that, and then I saw the trailer and I thought, yeah, this is going to be those. It's going to be one of those. And another one, which is coming out this year, which I'm very excited, it's from the director of Barbarian, is Weapons. I loved Barbarian. That was a great movie. And again, what he's done is he's really hidden the plot again of this movie. I have no idea what Weapons is even about. I haven't got a clue. The trailer doesn't reveal. So do you know what? I can't wait to go into it blind and think, what the hell is this? Because even Barbarian had that. I had no idea what that was about. I walked in, came out smiling. This one I know is going to be the same. So let's hope we get that same reaction.
So sometimes a little bit of a surprise is good, like when it comes to.
Yeah. I mean, even Strange Darling. Oh, that film. I could go on about that film forever. I loved it. Right, okay, guys. We've now got to go to the ads break because it's nearly 11 o'clock now. So the ads are going to be popping up. We're going to play another track, and then me and Emmanuel will be back for more movie news. So stay tuned, guys, because you're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio. We'll speak to you very soon. That was, of course, The Destruction of Home Tree by Avatar, by, of course, the legend himself, James Horner. We all miss you, James Horner. Absolute legend. And you're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on the show. Me, Reese Manigan, and my guest today, Emmanuel.
Emmanuel Adenuga in the building. Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about horror at the moment because that's a subject that I could go on about forever, but there you go. But I just want to quickly mention as well that Alex Garland is already cast an actor for his brand new film that he's already directing again. So last week I was saying that he's come back to direct a film based on the game The Elden Ring. Is it a game or a book? I can't remember, but it's The Elden Ring. And he's already cast Kit Connor May, who's going to reunite with Alex Garland. And so he's already cast his first actor already in his new film. And Alex Garland, if you remember, he's the awesome director who did Ex Machina, Annihilation, Men, and Civil War, and just recently Warfare, which, oh my God, that movie was brilliant, a great film. And I'm really glad that Alex Garland is coming back to direct another film, because I kept saying this before. There was this, when last year there was this skeptical thing going on that he'd been interviewed by The Guardian, and apparently he said he wasn't going to direct for the foreseeable future, and then everyone went, oh, that means he's retiring. But he's not retiring, he's a screenwriter. And he was saying that there are other jobs in film despite directing, because he is a screenwriter before. And saying that, though, his brand new writing film that he's written with director Danny Boyle, 28 years later, comes out very soon. Because, again, I was saying this before, I cannot believe that we are already in June 2025.
Likewise.
The months have absolutely flown.
No, you're totally right. It's gone so far. Since December, at least, it's like, what the hell?
What the hell? Seriously, literally. I mean, that's what I mean, guys. You've got to enjoy your life while you can. It's going so quick.
Yeah, embrace the moment.
Embrace it, yeah. And that's what I do every Friday on this show. I embrace the moment. As you lovely listeners tune in every week, it always means a lot. But I was just saying, like, Alex Garland, like, you know, I feel sorry for the guy, man. I mean, because, you know, when he got that hit from the retirement thing and all this, he was like, but I work as a screenwriter and all this. But do you know what? I'm glad he's coming back full stop with 28 years later. That's, again, another anticipated movie that I cannot wait to see. Did you happen to bump into the 28 franchise? There's 28 days and there's 28 years. So 28 years one comes out this year. Did you happen to bump into the previous film?
I don't think so. Maybe I caught a little bit on just when I was like just walking by the television or something.
Yeah.
So that tends to happen a lot. And I just catch on and I'm like, oh, this is what that's about.
28 Days Later, of course, was the film that Alex Garland first wrote with Danny Boyle, which is the first sort of zombie apocalypse movie that came out, which kind of in a way changed the genre in a way, and again was another film ahead of its time, as we mentioned before. But yeah, it was a movie that really did kick off all the zombies era, because not long after we had 28 Days Later, we then of course got the classic Shaun of the Dead, which completely again flipped one on its head, which again changed the horror genre of zombies completely. And saying that, actually, because that's just come back into my head, Simon Pegg recently did an update because he's in the new Mission Impossible film. They were speaking about Shaun of the Dead as they have to, and they actually said, would you ever consider doing another one? Are you going to work again with Nick Frost and Edgar Wright and all that? And do you know what? He's actually said that him, Edgar and Nick did meet up recently to talk about another idea for a potential movie. So there's an exciting update for you, because them three have done really good. Like they did the Shaun of the Dead. They also did Hot Fuzz, which is another great classic film, and they also done The World's End. 3 really good comedies, but apparently there's rumours that they might be doing another Cornetto trilogy. This is what they called their previous trilogy, the Cornetto. And of course, I understand why they called it that, because in Shaun of the Dead, Nick Frost's character does eat a lot of Cornetto ice cream, and I think what they done was they decided to just call it the Cornetto trilogy. So it's quite a clever little idea. I just can't remember the flavours they used for the Cornetto ice cream films. But I will say this: out of the 3, Shaun of the Dead is definitely the best one. Love Shaun of the Dead. Hot Fuzz, very good movie. A little bit over the top, but still really good. But World's End, it was all right, but compared to the previous 2, wasn't really up there for me. Plus, I didn't really like the ending. But the one scene that does stand out in World's End is the scene in the toilets when they fight the robots. That bit is absolutely brilliant filmmaking. The camera shot goes around the toilet, and you're just watching them beat up these. And what made it even funnier is they beat up these robots, and then it's not long till after they beat them up, they go, they're not human, are they? And then they've broken them apart.
Can you figure out?
Yeah, but the thing is, there's oil going all over the place, and they rip each other's arms, and they're beating them up, and then they go, they're not human, are they? I don't think. And I remember watching, I was crying. I was like, that is just genius writing. But yeah, the film, that's the best part of the film. But the whole film itself, compared to the other 2, not amazing, but still really good. But compared to Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, World's End is definitely the least best one. And to be honest, like I said, I didn't really like the ending. I found it not as funny compared to the other 2, but it definitely had the best pub toilet fight scene I've ever seen in a movie. Okay. So if you want a scene in a toilet pub, which is the best fight, that's definitely the best part. I mean, unless you've got another pub fight scene, you probably know that you probably think it's better.
Nah, most films that I've seen with fights in it have all been like American films.
Yeah. I mean, my favourite battle scene as well in many movies. I mean, I love the fight scenes in the Planet of the Apes films, but it was the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes between Cobra and Caesar. That was a really good fight scene. I even love the battle scene in the movie of Narnia when they all run in and the battle scene. And there's that scene with the heartbeat when it was born, and they all rush into each other. I also like there's loads of like big action sequences that are absolutely top notch. But I also, in animation form, I also love the fight scene in Kung Fu Panda 2 between Po and Lord Shen. The scene with the cannonballs, absolutely phenomenal stuff in animation as well. But yeah, like the scene that I was mentioning with the pub scene with World's End, like you can't get a better cinematography shot than that. I mean, Edgar Wright is a complete genius, and I really can't wait for his next project. I know he's definitely working on something now, but he won't reveal exactly what it's called, but he's working on something, and it'll be his next film since he did The Last Night in Soho, which was phenomenal movie. That came out as well during the COVID year 2021, but luckily we could go cinema to go see that movie.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, that's a great film. Set in the beautiful Soho, London, literally. Oh, it's beautiful. Sometimes I go around Soho and I'm like, oh yeah, that's where they filmed, In fact, I think before they filmed it, I think I actually remember going along the set. Like, not on set, but I was walking along Soho, and I did see a camera crew there, and I think that was Last Night in Soho.
It could have been. It could have been. You never know.
Because it wasn't that long before all that had kind of kicked off. I was like, I I think that was Last Night in Soho, and it was filmed near between the Piccadilly Circus and Soho area, where you got that long road that also leads to Chinatown. It was just there, and I thought, I think that's Last Night in Soho.
Oh man!
But I didn't get a photo. Damn, I'm really gutted to get my photo for evidence. But anyway, but it's really awesome when you walk along a film set and you see them in the distance. I wonder what they're filming. And sometimes I do sneak up to the guy and I go, "Hey mate, what's all this about?" And sometimes I go, "Oh, we're just shooting a film." And I'll give him my little. I used to have these business cards. I need to make some more. But I was like, if you need some help, just take this.
Hey, listen, you've got a network, man.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the networking has been incredible this year for me, particularly. I mean, I'm actually taking some script lessons from Ilona Six, who was the producer of the Human Centipede movies. She's actually teaching me to do script funding. So I'm working on that. And like I said, I've got some really exciting guests coming on the show in the next few weeks. One of them is an ex-EastEnders actress who will be coming on, I think, in October. I've got a few American guests as well who know some Hollywood stars who have been on some stuff. I mean, just recently I was talking to one of the actresses who's actually been in the series of Ted with Seth MacFarlane. And she again said, because Seth is well known for Family Guy, she was on the set of Ted and there's a joke in it, which apparently I'm not going to say out loud on the morning show, but apparently she said, "Oh, I've read the script." She went, "Do you think people are going to get offended by this?" This is apparently what Seth MacFarlane said. "If they get offended, I don't care. It's a comedy. Get on with it." And that's what he's like. He says, at the end of the day, we need to live through comedy. We have to do it. And that's what I take forward. And I'm like, this. If Seth can get away with it, I'm going to do it. So there you go. I mean, it doesn't matter if Seth's famous than me. A movie and a joke is a movie and a joke. Do you know what I mean? I'm still going to do it. And that's what I was talking about recently about the bucket. And in the bucket there are jokes in it, and I'm gonna put those jokes in, and people are gonna laugh at those jokes because like I said, the world's too tame now. It's ridiculous.
But the great thing about film and stuff is there's so many great actors and talent out there, and platforms where you can develop, you can build, you can do research on and get involved in. So
exactly,
the sky's not a limit, man.
Exactly. And trust me, the limits on this one, there isn't any. I cannot wait to get the bucket out for the 2nd of October, guys, which is my premiere, which I'm going to plan at the Curzon Soho. And the tickets will be on sale, hopefully by July, because I'm still filming the project and editing it at the same time. So let's hope you guys can make it. Because I am so buzzed to get that film out. Also, an update as well, just recently, I've got another short film coming out on the 1st of June, which is called The Golden Fish. Can't wait to release that one. And I've got another project I'm filming in 21 days called False Fortune, which is another funny one. And also, I've got another one written just now about some cave people called The Egg Hunt, which I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting that one out. I'm still looking for a couple more actors to play some cave people in that one, so who knows? If anyone's listening and you're interested, let me know. But
are you gonna for the whole sort of cave scene, are you gonna sort of go with like a studio? Or
no, I'm gonna go on location. Yeah, because I know some beautiful locations I can use.
What have you got in mind?
And God, there's Epping, there's Highgate, there's some really lovely pieces of woodland in Chingford as well that just look like prehistoric forest.
Right.
But it's honestly, I love going out on location because you get that real feel of it, and also you can add your own sound effects and everything. It just looks gorgeous as well. Like especially if the weather's as gorgeous as today, then definitely. But there's some loads of updates on those guys, and also what I was also going to say as well, just recently, people were saying, because I did a post recently, and I'm following this tactic now, because The Bucket is going to be my most surreal film I've ever done for my 20th anniversary. Just so you know, this style of filmmaking is going to happen in the future films, because I'm definitely going for that A24 style now. So if you've seen films like Dream Scenario, Hereditary, Midsummer, Friendship, and stuff like that, that's the style of films I'm going for now. I think A24 will look down and think, you know what, he's got that style. We like him. So who knows? They never know. So that's the style I'm going for now, guys. Be warned. Be warned. Okay, guys, let's have a little breather. Let's put some tracks on. The next one is a very familiar one. Here's a little bit of Harry Potter. That was, of course, Voldemort by Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. That is a really awesome track. And that was by Patrick Doyle, who, very underrated composer, in my opinion. Anyway, you're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio with me, Reese Manigan, and my guest today,
Emmanuel Adenuga.
There you go. So, mate, are you enjoying the show?
Oh, I'm 100%.
Amazing. Well, do you know what? It's been awesome to have you on. And George, really also upsetting. We've only got 25 minutes left already. I am so upset with that because every time it reaches after 11:30, I'm like, I'm not really done yet. I don't want to stop, you know what I mean? And I keep saying I need a longer show, but unfortunately 2 hours is the only time I've got. But it's cool. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun, and it's been great, and it's great to have someone a bit different on the show because I haven't had a lot of singers on the show, so it's really good to have someone a bit different on the show, and I love that because even last week I had a model on the show to promote her modelling and everything. So it's nice that I get not just filmmakers and actors, but to also get singers, models, photographers, presenters who also come on the show to talk about their stories. Because, like I said, guys, it's not just about filmmakers and actors. It's about people who work in any media which involves photography, modelling, presenting, singing. It's all kind of the same to me, It's all that kind of thing. Because everything in those stories involves photography, editing, people, and everybody's got to do a little bit of acting in that stuff. They've got to do a little bit of, modelling. They've all got to do a bit of promotion. Do you know what I mean? So I believe it's all together. That's what the show's all about. But of course, as well, we have to talk about the film heavy stuff because it's called Manigan's Movie Music, if you know what I mean. Anyway, but the good thing about you, Emmanuel, is that last week, the model I had last week, bless her heart, she didn't know about too many movies. When you came and said about, I love horror, I was like, this is just gold. Like, he knows about film, thank goodness. But it's good. But was there anything else you wanted to talk about involving the film or what I work on? Because you were very interested in what I was working on. Or is there anything in general?
So, like, with me, I would just love people to just stay locked in to like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Adenuga TV is my YouTube channel.
Yeah. Make sure you subscribe to that, guys.
A lot of songs in the can, so still sort of pending. Releases are pending. Right now, I have a single out called Only Gets Better, which can be streamed on Spotify.
And if you just tuned in, guys, that is how you can listen to his work 100%. You must tune in. His song's really good. Also, as well, just remember there was another trailer that came out as well that I really need to talk about. It's somewhere here. Yeah. So, Bring Her Back. There you go. This is the other horror film that I really wanted to talk about as well. Now, there was a movie out called Talk to Me, which came out a couple of years ago. The guys who directed it, they've made a new film called Bring Her Back. They've just released another new trailer, but this is the thing. I don't want to watch it. I haven't watched it. This is the reason why. Because I've heard that this trailer gives out more spoilers. Now, Talk to Me was another horror that I went into blind. And I had hints what it was about, but I didn't really read anything. And again, this one is another one that I've heard of, but not read. Now, annoyingly, this is what annoys me, right? They said it was coming out in May 2025, and I thought, brilliant, it's coming out in May this month. Like, brilliant, I'm really excited. Turns out, the country UK has to wait till August, and it's already out in America. And I was like, why? Why does that happen? And another film that's very mysterious to me, this isn't even a horror, but this is something I want to complain about. So, as we were talking about the industry struggling, there's an animated film which is very well known, stars very two well-known stars, Porky Pig and Daffy Duck, in the way the Earth blew up, right? And they released a new animated Looney Tunes movie. It's all 2D animated. It looks gorgeous for a 2D animated film. And they released it in America, done really well. But unfortunately, we have no idea if it's coming out in the UK. And there's rumours that this hard-working animated film they've tried so hard to release, to get out, which they finally done, might go straight to streaming in the UK. And I'm gutted if that happens. Right, I tell you why I'm gutted, and this is what annoys me, right?
I sort of hate that stuff, that's what happened with Coming to America, the second film.
Yeah.
It went straight to
streaming. It really annoys me. I'll tell you why it annoys me. Because, for one thing, this film deserves to be out on the big screen. Big screen experience is much more better than sitting at home. All right, look, if you have a big screen TV, good for you, well done. But for me,
it's just not the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same when you go into a big room full of strangers and you're watching a big screen event. Like, it's like, for example, I'm going to bring it up again, Sinners, BFI IMAX. That movie absolutely was what cinema was all about.
I still need to check that out.
Absolute cinema that was in the BFI IMAX.
Shout out to Michael B. Jordan.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. That's what it's all about. And so when this animated film, When the Day the Earth Blew Up, was going to come out, I was thinking, oh my God, I need to see this movie. I want to go and support it because this Looney Tunes movie was having difficulty getting out for an audience. Because Warner Brothers, apparently, this is what they've been doing this year. They have actually cut out their Looney Tunes media. They've got rid of it on their streaming services. They've cut it out of their company system. But the question is why? That's like saying Disney have now decided, let's get rid of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Goofy and all that lot. Why would you want to get rid of those popular characters? I mean, Bugs Bunny's been around for 80 years. And I grew up with the Looney Tunes cartoons. I mean, I love them. I mean, and even though people say, oh, they're just for kids, I mean, to be honest, they are not. If you watch the cartoons from the 30s, 40s and 50s, do you know how many jokes are in those films that they had to cut out? Of today's? Oh, there's loads. Like, there's smoking, there's stereotypes, there's like honest to God, right? There are so many things in the Looney Tunes I mean, they were darker than Disney. Like, there were so many things that they put in the Looney Tunes cartoons they would never release today. Because I remember even watching as a kid, they used to cut scenes out, and I was thinking, why are they just cutting out all of it? Apparently, Warner Brothers are just basically saying, look, we've released it now, there it is. But then the film took the Day the Earth Blew Up took ages to make. Apparently it took them nearly 10 years to even release and everything because they were like, well, we don't want this, right? And they finally got it out. It's made a bit of money and it's done really well. So what does that tell you? And also amazingly, which I'm so happy about, is do you remember there was this controversy, Coyote versus Acme? The film's been cancelled. It was all done, but they cancelled it. And Will Forte, who's in the film, was expressing how angry he was. Why are they not releasing this movie? What is wrong with them? Why? Luckily, Catch Up Entertainment has saved the day. They brought the rights. They're going to release it next year. And do you know what? If they do release that movie in the UK, I will go. Because I love the preview of this idea. Basically, Coyote is sick of Acme products because he can't get the Roadrunner. And he said it's forgery. So he's suing Acme for this company. And I just think it's genius. And apparently John Cena, the ex-wrestler, is playing the main villain in the movie. Apparently he's like the evil lawyer in the film. So that
doesn't surprise me because John Cena recently went heel.
Yeah.
In WWE. So
yeah. I mean,
it's a good fit for him.
I mean, he's done some bad project. I mean, to be fair, he's actually got a really good sense of humour, which I love because he's done some really funny films. I mean, I love Blockers. He's really funny in that because he plays the dad who doesn't want his daughter to, do what she's going to do on the prom night. And there's a scene which I can't describe, but it's so funny. It basically involves a beer tube, and it's just so hilarious. And I just think he's a sport, to do all these crazy films, and it just shows that he's got a really good sense of humour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So good on him. And so he's going to be playing this really evil lawyer in the new Acme versus Coyote movie. But I just really hope they release the Day the Earth Blew Up in cinemas. If I find out it's on Amazon Prime or Netflix or anything like that, I am seriously going to write a massive complaint on social media and say, why are you doing this? Why is the problem? I am seriously going to make a massive complaint about that. Will streaming services stop taking cinema movies? Stop doing it. I mean, luckily there was one film, if you remember, got saved from Netflix. Luckily they took it from Netflix, which was the movie Monkey Man, which came out last year. Luckily Jordan Peele saw that movie and said to Netflix, here's your money, give that movie to me, that comes out in cinemas. He took it and put it out in cinemas, and I'm so glad he did, because Monkey Man was a great cinema film. If that came straight to Netflix and I watched it, I would have gone, why was that not released in cinemas? It is such a cinema movie. And now luckily the actor who was in that film, he's now directing another movie with none other than the company, you guessed it right, A24. Woo!
Shout outs to Jordan Peele.
Oh, Jordan Peele's a legend, man. Hero of the day. I mean, he saved that movie. Have you seen Monkey Man, by the way?
No.
It's on Now TV, guys. If you haven't seen it, it's a great movie.
I've got a lot of films to check out, man.
I honestly, every time I mention films now, people go, "Oh, I've got a list of recommendations now."
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I just like to throw.
Better late than never.
There's a list. There's a list. I could seriously go on forever talking about what films to recommend. Seriously, it's in my nature to just throw them out there. Okay, guys, we are now going to be playing another track. Actually, have you got a score that you want to listen to? Have you got a particular favourite score that you've heard? A movie favourite?
Let's go with The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy.
So, Golden Child. Is that a score, yeah? Because if it's a score, then definitely. Yeah, okay, brilliant. So, I think it's this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so we're gonna play The Golden Child from the Eddie Murphy movie. This is for Emmanuel, then. That was, of course, James Newton Howard, King Kong, Saved by the Crew. And our last track of the day now, because we've only got less than 7 minutes now until the show. Well, actually, no, exactly 6 minutes now until the show is finally finished. But yeah, you're listening to Manigans Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio with me, Reese Manigan, and my guest,
Emmanuel Adenuga.
Right, so I got to say, today has been another really fun show today. It's been great. I'm really glad that we had a lot to talk about as well.
No, real talk. Like, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure to have you on the show as well. Like I said, it's great to have someone different as well. Someone who's in the media and everything, and also is a horror fan. I'm definitely happy to talk about that all the time. That's not a problem for me. But yeah, so if you want to give out your social media stuff again to people so they can follow you, know what you do again, just in case they've just tuned in.
Right. So follow me on the gram, Emmanuel Adenuga. YouTube, subscribe to my channel, Emmanuel Adenuga TV. Snapchat, Adenuga Music. Twitter, Emmanuel_artist, and that's about it. And Facebook, Emmanuel Adenuga. So that's EMMANUELADENUGA. And please go check out my single, Only Gets Better.
Yes, do that, guys. Do it. Yes, on Spotify. There you go. And I think just in case you've just tuned in and you don't know the details, but there you go. And as for my details, as you know, so next week. Right, so I don't know what movie review will be coming up next week. I do need to try and find a new film to review. If not, then don't worry about it. I'm sure I'll find something. But next week I will have a guest on my show, an American actress who's going to be coming online to talk to me. So she'll be online to talk to me, guys. It's not the first time. She'll be like my fourth American guest I've had on the show. And normally when they're online, it's a bit different, but it's still good. And it's always nice that they stay up so late to come on my show. It's really nice. I feel honoured about that. It's like I said to them, it's nice to know that you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning just to come on the show.
Yeah, Americans have a different work ethic, man.
Oh, they do, yeah. I mean, it's also weird as well, the time difference, like 5 hours, 8 hours. It's like, it's 10 o'clock in the morning over here, and then over there it's like 2 a.m. I'm like, oh, really? But then again, I'll think, if I was to go on a radio show in America, I'd be like, okay, because to be fair, I did do that once. I was interviewed by one of my American contacts who was interviewing different people, but she was comparing us to if we were a kind of food sort of thing. It was really interesting. In fact, it is on my YouTube channel. If you go on my interviews playlist, you can check it out. And I actually stayed up from 1 o'clock in the morning to do that interview. And do you know what? It was really fun because she was asking me, if you could be a dessert, what do you think you'd be and all this? I was like, this is kind of interesting. I've never been asked that question before. and I gave them all these great answers. Like, it was really fun. It was very challenging as well. I love that I had questions that challenged me. What kind of dessert would I be? What kind of main dish would I be? What my sides would be? It was about, like, if you could have this, that, and the other. It was really interesting. I was like, so basically, if I was to get eaten, what would I go with? Who would be coming with me? The fries or the ketchup or the fish fingers? You know, that's really interesting. But but I never thought of myself thinking, if I was food, what would I get? What would I be? What kind of sauce would I have? What kind of chocolate would I be? Or you know what I mean? You know, would I be caramel or would I be vanilla? It was interesting. It was interesting. But yeah, if you want to know what food I was, because I can't actually remember what I said, go on the interview and check out my YouTube and see what you think. But yeah, that's on there. And also, guys, for my YouTube as well, go on my playlist and check out my projects as well. If you go on Reese M92 and subscribe and check out my stuff. By the way, there is more content coming, more radio shows. I'll put this one on a few weeks' time. I'm going to put on last week's show in this week as well. So definitely check out for that. Also, don't forget, on the 1st of June, The Golden Fish comes out. So I'll release a preview for that as well on my Instagram and everything, so you guys can check out, just so Reese has got a new film out and stuff like that. And and also I've got a really exciting month coming ahead. Got another film I'm going to be doing. And I'm also going to be interviewed as well for my 20 years of filmmaking. The documentary's coming out as well, hopefully later this year. And also, guys, don't forget, premiere for The Bucket, 2nd of October. Tickets will be on sale from July onwards. So once that Eventbrite gets out, grab your ticket, because I keep saying this. The Bucket is a film you are not going to want to miss. It is going to either make you laugh, get you confused, or you're just going to come out going, yeah, I saw it, and just walk home. I can't wait for their reactions. Honestly, I'm so excited about that. I'm so buzzed. Okay, guys, time is now up on the show. Manuel, again, thank you so much for coming up on the show.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate your time, that you're here. Again, thank you so much. And as for you guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Please tune in next week, okay? Because like I said, I've got another guest. I will let you know what movie review I'll be doing if I do find a new film this week. And some more exciting updates will be coming up as well. Plus, you don't know what movie trailers will be coming out in the week or what films I'll be talking about next week. So if there's something that you're excited for me to talk about for next week, I'm sure I'll be talking about it. So make sure you do tune in, guys, okay? It's very important if you do. All right, guys, I hope you have a good week. Thanks for tuning in. And I hope you guys, have a good week and everything goes well for you. And as for Manigan's movie music, as I say every week, that is a wrap.